Gamers and collectors, back here with another Xbox video. I'm going to do this in a couple parts because there's far too many games to fit into one video, or it would take a long time to shoot. So let's get this cracking with both the Unreal Championship games. You can't play these online anymore, but they do have bot modes in them. These were really good games. I remember playing these way back on... I actually even played these online way back in the day. Definitely worth collecting. You can get these super cheap. Let's see. Got Amped 1 and 2. These are really good games too. The graphics at their time were really good still. Not the greatest anymore. Snowboarding games kind of died out at this point. Back then you had SSX, you had 1080, you had the Amped games. I think there might have been one other snowboarding competitor. Let's see. Then we got Project Gotham Racing 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 on the Xbox, and then these games died out. Then Microsoft jumped ship to Forza, which this is more of a semi-arcadey game. I don't even know how to describe it, but because this evolved from the Dreamcast game Tokyo something, some kind of Tokyo game. There's two of them on the Dreamcast. I don't have them yet. Been looking for them, but can't seem to find them. These were two of my favorite games way back in the day on the Xbox. All Microsoft needs to do is make a third one, and everybody would be happy. So I think these all came in the limited editions, but I love me some holographic cases. These are both my original copies from... Most of this is all original copies from way back in the day. These are really good games. They're still actually really fun to play single player through. Yep, definitely some good ones. No self-respecting Xbox owner cannot have these in their collection. I have the green Halo Xbox way up there. So that's why I have the not for resale copy, which supposedly is a little more rare, but I don't think it really is. And Halo 2, I remember the day this came out. I saved up for months to get the original Xbox. I had a paper route way back in the day, so I had to save up for months to get that. And then I remember the day this came out, I finally convinced my sister to take me. I wasn't 17 yet, and obviously you had to be 17 to get it. So this is both these are original copies too. I hate that they rust. They finally fixed this with most modern collector's editions, but these all rust. You'd be really hard-pressed to find one that doesn't rust, but I'd like to have one that doesn't, but at the same time, this is sentimental value because this is my original copy, so don't really want to get rid of it. These next two are two games that were recommended from another YouTuber, Implant Games. I just recently picked up both these. They're kind of shooting up in price a little bit. I don't know if it's because of YouTube or just because there's like no platformers on the original Xbox, but definitely good, worth picking up. Little steep learning curve in them, kind of, I would say. Let's see. And this is another trilogy set that was on the original Xbox. Although so this was PC and original Xbox, and that's it, even though it doesn't say it. These came out on everything else, so I actually took a long time to find this. Kind of hard to find. Not super expensive, but definitely not easy to find. Limited edition to Chaos Theory, I played the crap out of that. Pandora Tomorrow, this introduced the Xbox Live multiplayer for Splinter Cell. Really good stuff. I kind of wish Ubisoft would go back to making Splinter Cell games and keep them coming out every couple of years, but I don't think Blacklist sold that well, so they're probably done with that for a while again, unfortunately. Let's see. Then we got Doom and Doom 3. This is the collector's edition. These aren't really hard to find at all. You can get these for like $10. They're really nice, though. So this one, oddly enough, didn't rust out, but the Halo one did. And I did this in my recent pickups video. I got this for $5, I think. And this is usually 15 or 20, because she actually, not for the collector's edition, but she charged me for the Doom 3 edition, which was pretty cool. And then I didn't say anything, because I was like, yep, I'll take that for cheaper pricing. Let's see. And got these for the original Xbox. Unfortunately, you kind of have to have it if you want to go for the complete set of only on Xbox exclusives. So this is 1 and 2. This is like in mint condition. There's like a cards that came with this, with 1 and 2, and they're pretty hard to find. So, and then this box, the outer box, is in great shape. It took me a while to find like one that was in good shape. This came out also on, I forget what other system it was, but maybe it is exclusive. I can't remember. And then this was obviously exclusive too. And they just recently made the third one, which didn't even come over to America. I don't have the second one because, I don't know. It's weird enough going in there and buying something like that into a store versus on the internet. I just did this in a recent pickups video, or that same video. This took me a long time to find. I had to get it resurfaced multiple times because it just wasn't working because it was just too scratched. I think this probably was at a Blockbuster at some point, but who knows. Cool game though, definitely uncommon to rare in that range. This was sort of an exclusive because it was a console exclusive. Most of my Xbox collection is just between all three, the original, the 360, and the Xbox One, is just exclusives. That's, to me, that's all they're really good for, is the exclusives. I got this in that Video Games Monthly pickup box, and I had to get this resurfaced too. It does work now. This is a crappy game, or at least it looks crappy. It's like hard to play it now because it looks really terrible. This was like an early Xbox game, so it's still bridging the gap between 64 and, you know, 6th generation graphics, so it looks pretty rough. Let's see. We got, this was a Blockbuster exclusive. These are pretty uncommon. There's also another one that I have here in my collection somewhere. I'll find it in one of the other part videos. This was recommended from, I forget what YouTube channel it was, but I found this. This is starting to rise up in price. And then there's another one called Outrun 2026, I think, which is on the Xbox and the PS2, but it's pretty expensive. Probably one of the top 5 original Xbox expensive game-wise. I don't have it. Let's see. We got a Zurich. This is a pretty good game. This was evidently a launch title. I had no idea until somebody was doing a video on this recently. I just started playing it. It's pretty good. Kind of reminds me of a Star Wars universe, but then it plays a little bit like Star Fox Adventure, which everyone loves to hate on that game, but I really love that game. So, to me, this is a really worthwhile game to play on the original Xbox. And then you got Gun Valkyrie, which was supposed to come out on the Dreamcast, but ended up coming out on the Xbox. Not a very expensive game, but also not common to find in stores. I've only ever seen this one copy, so if you ever see it, go ahead and pick it up. Got Malice. This was recommended from Implant Games. This was in my recent pickups video also. Still haven't gotten around to playing this yet, but I actually remember wanting this back in the day because I love platformers. I don't know, this is like what I was raised on, I guess, so platformers are the way to go. Probably do, let's see, Shell Shock, no. Got this in my pickups video too. Still have yet to play this. I might actually pop this in today since it's Sunday. Go ahead and give that a shot. Got Spawn Armageddon. I think this was PS2 and Xbox only. I don't think this came out on the GameCube because, yeah, it's mature, so it probably didn't. Still need to give that a play, so I might actually try that later too. Black, still haven't played this yet. I pick up all these games and then I try to get around to them eventually, but that's the life of the collector. You never get around to them sometimes. I have a pretty big backlog, so I might play that today too. Burnout 3 Takedown. This is arguably my favorite Xbox game. I played this so much back in the day. Still play it to this day and love it. Just the graphics on this are really good. They did Revenge too that was a bridge game though, so it was on the original and on the 360. So if you're gonna get that, you may as well just get it on the 360 because that's technically the definitive version of Burnout Revenge. Gunmetal. This was think this came out on all three systems, the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. My cousin wanted me to buy this because he said it was pretty good. Another thing I never got around to playing. Guess I'll toss that in the Sunday play pile. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. This actually came with one of my Xboxes that I bought because my green one up there ended up dying on me, so I had to transplant another Xbox into it, unfortunately. So this ended up coming with it, and a set of component cables, so couldn't beat that. This is a very underrated game that I wish got a sequel, or at least a remaster. Republic Commando. So this only came out on the Xbox and the PC. Not expensive, but not very easy to find just because a lot of people want to play it. If you can ever find it, I definitely recommend getting this. Alright, this is another exclusive to the Xbox, but also was on the PC. Armed and Dangerous is LucasArts. This is by far one of my top 10 original Xbox games. It's so fun to play, just like, so you can see right there, this gun shoots out sharks that dig through the ground. This guy, he's like crazy. This guy, it's just a really funny, comedic, really just great story. Just so, like, I think there's like a sheep gun, there's a shark gun. It's just a really fun game. If you own an Xbox, this is cheap, and you definitely owe it to yourself to picking this up. Definitely worthwhile on a playthrough. I've actually played it multiple times. It is very fun. Alien vs. Predator. This is actually one of the rarer Xbox original games. Also came out on the PS2. It's an RTS game, so not a lot of those back then in the 6th generation. And then there was a few during the 7th generation, but very few in the 6th generation. So this is one of the few that I know of. Definitely a good game. Graphically, pretty good for an RTS for back in the day. So give it a shot if you can find it. I played the absolute living hell out of this game when I was younger. The map editor that this has in it. Me and two of my buddies had this. We each had our own copy, and every weekend we'd sleep over at each other's house. This was like middle school, I think. And we'd each make a new map every weekend, and then every weekend we would just play the crap out of each other's maps and verses and this and that. And this is a really good game if you can find this. So they redid this for the 360 too. So that's also another option to playing Far Cry Instincts. Let's see. We got PsyOps. I remember playing this way back in the day. It is a very good game. Underrated, kind of, in a way. This came out on all three consoles, I think, as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Mercenaries. So this is probably one of Pandemic's last games. They're one of my more favorite companies because they made the original Battlefront games, which are some of my favorite as well. Yeah, this is a pretty good game. Definitely worth a playthrough. I'd like to see them come back to this series. Or I guess Disney would own that now that LucasArts sold to Disney. So I guess that probably means Mercenaries 3 is never is going to happen. So let me go ahead and finish this last stack out, and I'll do the rest in part 2. Got Land of the Dead. This is in my recent pickup video too. Haven't played it yet, so I guess that's going in the Sunday pile. Stubbs the Zombie. This is shooting up in value very quickly because a lot of people are realizing that it's very good. I beat this multiple times. It is a really fun game. Good co-op game too. Funny story, I got this from a friend and they let me borrow it. And didn't have the manual, and he just let me keep it. And then for about 10 years I had no manual. So one day my cousin actually found me a copy. I didn't ask how he got that because he didn't pay for it. I'll leave it at that. And let's see, Soul Calibur 2. So there was one version for each system. I have all three of them. So this has Spawn, GameCube has Link, and the PS2 has the Tekken guy. I forget what his name is. And then we got Wolfenstein. This is I ended up picking this up after the last ones that came out because I never played any prior to The New Order, I think it was called. Actually, I guess it was just Wolfenstein. But yeah, I ended up picking up this afterwards, and it's okay. It's worth a playthrough. And I don't even know how they pulled this off on the original Xbox, but Half-Life 2. This actually runs really well on the original Xbox, and it actually, quite frankly, resembles the PC graphics pretty well. Not expensive, but not cheap either, if you can find it. But go ahead and give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back for part 2, possibly part 3, depends on how much I split up the other game videos. Alright, peace out for now, gamers.